What's good? My name is Yung Nate, and you're now tuning in the Encore Radio Show. Yeah.
The views and comments expressed on the following radio program by its hosts and their guests do not necessarily reflect the views of
passengers till I pass away. Lifestyles of the rich and fake. Waste the drugs in an ashtray. Smoking out in that cascade. Showing out in that ballet. These are lifestyles of the rich and fake. I'm trying to get a Bushini account. My outfit probably talking more than your rent is about. I'm spending money just to make it, we getting it out. But that's the hustle, nigga, guess I just figured it out. Gold on my neck, goals on my check, holes on my dick, balls on the net. Niggas think I rose from the dead. Put the pressure in, they fold under that. But for niggas only trying to join the code for the deck. No flash, doing shit that never was possible in the past.
Alright, good morning, folks. The Encore Radio Show. Live here with Wise Soul. As you guys heard, we're sitting here with Yung Nate.
Yeah.
Yo, what's good, Nate, man? How's everything going with you?
Everything good. I can't complain. How you feeling?
I'm good. I'm hoping the fucking Panthers start doing some shit. You know, folks, if y'all not listening, y'all probably gonna hear this in about 2 weeks, but this is we shooting this during the Super Bowl because we fuck with y'all like crazy.
Yeah.
But you know, I can't even see the game right now.
I can see the game fine and clear right there, so I'm cool with the shit.
See, nah, click. I put you in the right seat, my man. I put you in the right seat. I'd have been wild distracted anyway. So Yung Nate, man, people know you right now for Harlem. They know you for rapping, but they don't know your history. So we're gonna do a lot of history digging for this one.
Yeah.
Feel me?
Yeah.
All right, bet. So your first song that I found online, at least, was called "In the City." Mm-hmm. So let's talk to me about "In the City."
See, I'm impressed because there's two in the cities.
Tell me about both. Tell me about both.
If you found the Inner City featuring Charles Hamilton, is that the one that you
found?
No.
Oh,
that would have been my first song that I've ever made, period, in life.
Life,
period. And in the Inner City that you probably found was the one with El Prez.
Yes.
So that was off of the I Heart YM project.
Okay.
And that was when I was out in LA, of course, and we were just mashing the two fields of he's from Prez is from Inglewood or whatever. And I'm from Harlem, so we were just mashing the two cities together or whatever. So the West and the East, we were coming together on that one.
Oh, alright. So we're not gonna jump forward too much. Let's talk about the one with Charles Hamilton then.
That was literally my first song ever, man. It was like I had these verses, and something I've always been my strong point is like my writing, my lyrics and things like that. So I got these verses. And up until that point, like I had never like done a hook or understood like the schematics of a song and like how it would lay out and things like that. So I'll go into there and I remember this shit like it was yesterday, yo. I go into there and I do the verses. The verses is good, and they say, yo, Nate, I do the hook now. So I'm going to hook, and I'm straight from New York, bitch. I'm straight from New York, bitch. I'm straight from New York, bitch. I'm straight. And everybody was laughing like, what the fuck is that, Nate? Like, what is that, bro? Like it was just Charles comes in there and he's like, yo, this is how you do the hook or whatever. And he laid down a real hook for me. So now I get to see like the development of songs and things more than just verses, because up until the point I was just only writing rhymes. Like I started off as a battle rapper. I was only writing rhymes at the time.
I mean, funny enough, now you hear a lot of people who just have hooks or just saying the same thing over and over again anyway. So.
Yeah. I mean, like, years ago, that was just weird. And if I did that shit today, then it's the most fire thing ever. You understand? Like, and especially if I would have mumbled it, it would have been the most fire thing ever today. 2016, I would have been the most fire thing ever.
Alright. So, you know, a little history. Your mom worked at Jive.
Yeah.
Does she still work at Jive now?
No, not anymore.
Not anymore. Okay. Your father rapped.
Yeah, my father raps.
Your father rapped, and your cousin Boots helped inspire you.
And who? Yeah.
Your mom.
Yeah.
Right? Working at Jive, growing up being the Jive kid, what was that like?
Just going down to the label and being able to see how the industry works and like knowing the actual players, you know, like, so more than just the artists, I get to meet the execs and the lawyers and the this and the that. And the one thing that I learned from that is that the artists are at the absolute bottom of the totem pole. And you got everybody else, and the longevity of an artist isn't that long, whatever. It's like being a running back in the NFL. The Super Bowl is on right now, so this is the perfect analogy. The running back has the shortest career out of any other player on the field.
Yeah, Marshawn Lynch just retired.
Yeah, while the quarterback can play forever. Peyton Manning is 40, isn't he? He's 40 right now, right?
Yes, he is.
And you understand, like, so you got to look at the running back is the one that pushes the ball across the court, and the artist creates the content. The artist is the reason why everyone has a job. You understand? Like, for them to have the shortest lifespan in the game, that was just a rude awakening for me. Like, where do I want to fit into this game? Which is why I think and I move the way I do, why I create other things outside of music that make myself relevant, because I know I only have but so long to survive with music.
So your dad used to bring you into the studio and when he was rapping and putting down lyrics.
Yeah.
Well, what was that like? So now you're seeing it from both perspectives.
I was seeing that. That my father was rapping before my mother got the label job. But when my pops used to rap or whatever, I used to bring me around. I was still kind of young, but I would memorize his rhymes. And I'm like 6 or 7 years old and shit like that. I would spit those rhymes or whatever. Like, I remember chilling at when my mother finally does go to job or whatever. I'm in the mail room and I'm spitting my pops rhymes. Like, yeah, I rap too or whatever. But I'm only like 13, 14. Man, what's the rhyme that my pop said? Damn, I can't even think of it. But it was like words and concepts that at my age I shouldn't have known or whatever. And I know them verbatim, but for right now it's just slipping my mind. So one time I get back to it or whatever, I'll probably spit one of those shits one day. But it was like just that learning experience of like his hunger. He did it as a hobby and things like that. But he was my hero, you know, like, and that was just like the greatest thing ever to see my pops rap. Like, you know, like that's where my love for the music came in. I couldn't like walk away from it. It was always surrounding me.
Nice. So Boots, talk to me about your cousin Boots now.
Now Bootsy is my older cousin, Boots Porter, and he literally taught me everything that I know as far as like writing and then, like my love and my passion for music. He had me look at it. Most people like you know, like just listen to the music and they understand what's going on. They know that they love this. When I started working with Boots and he was developing me into becoming in the Young Nate, he was breaking down just the schematics and like the cadences of rappers. When should I switch up my flow? He's breaking all of these things down for me. The song structure. How do you structure these verses in a song? How do you structure these words and getting your story across? What makes you different than anyone else? These is all of the questions and the just the development of me as from a writing standpoint, and like really listening to my forefathers in the game, the big homies, the bigs, and you know, sitting back listening to Wu-Tang. What made Wu-Tang great? What made Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, like, what are they doing? What made them great? And like actually listen to what they listening to what they're doing. Like, and that you know, studying the game, I learned to appreciate hip hop because of Boots.
That's what's up. So now we got the trifecta. You got your mom.
Yeah, I got the business.
I
got the business. I got the passion and the influence, and now I got the actual craft. I'm learning the craft now.
Perfect. So shortly after this or whatever, you said at about 13 or 14, you were with your dad and stuff. Your dad eventually left.
Yeah. Right.
How old were you around that time? When did that happen?
I made the decision. I was living with my father when I was like 11 years old. I was when I was around 6, I was acting up at school in New York, and my mother was a single parent. And she figured like the best way for me to start acting right was to go back with my father. He was living down south, and I lived with him for a few years. And then when I turned 11, when I was going into middle school, I made the decision to come back up north.
Okay.
And to be with my mother. And then my pops just went around and he did what it is. My pops always played the active role in my life, and I have a stepfather as well. So I grew up with like 2 fathers.
Even better.
Yeah.
So how much of that do you think that change of now no longer being down south and being with your dad, but to being with your mom up north with your stepfather? What was that change like for you? Do you think it affected you negatively in any way?
It was just a cultural shock. I come back with an accent now. You know, like I got it. You know, because I'm learning.
I know about that. I just
you learn how to speak down there. And to this day, I still enunciate words certain ways that you would from a southern accent. You never lose it,
unfortunately. I hate it.
And it was just like assimilating back up here and getting back into the culture. You know, my mother lived in the Bronx, and coming back between the Bronx, my family is in Harlem, and you know, I'm moving back and forth, and it's just getting back into New York and getting back into the swing. And when I was down there at the time, I'm learning about the just what was happening in New York, like with all the slashings and stuff. And then I'm scared when I come back up here, but it wasn't that. When you come back up here, New York, the news and the media always will perpetuate it to be something that it's not.
Absolutely.
You know, so that was something.
All right, so when you went to high school, you ended up at Frederick Douglass Academy, FDA. Yeah. You were then at that point a part of the Demevolist group. I know I practiced saying that.
Demevolist.
I practiced saying that for mad long.
Yeah,
Demevolist group. Thank you.
Yeah.
Anyway, so from my knowledge of it, I see Shalik.
Yeah.
Show Tufli.
Yeah.
Charles Hamilton, of course.
Yeah.
Yourself and Jay Means.
Yeah.
Right. What was that like to have a strong brotherhood?
All right, we're going to take it a little bit further. We also got B.A., Hanson Manson, Proven, Issa, Fidel, Rel, a couple others, and H.O. the boss, of course, Eric Adams. That was the entire Demev
the whole
team.
group, okay.
There was 2 Demevs, actually. There was a Demev that was initially there, so this is before, like, Charles and I get into the picture. That was when you have, like, H.O., B.A., Hanson Manson, J Means, Dell, and Paris. You get a different Demev, and those were like the superheroes to us.
Oh, really? Okay.
Those are the superheroes. So those are the guys that we always aspired to be.
So what grade were they in?
They were always ahead of us. I want to say they were like 04 or something like that. Okay. 03 and 04. So they were like a lot, like a little bit ahead of us. But they were the ones that got the studio in FDA, being knuckleheads. So they got the studio in there, and like it was just like this mythical thing. Like you would walk by the door it was on the 3rd floor. You just walk by the door and you could hear the music. And this is before everybody has studios. Like now in 2016, everyone has a studio. Like anybody can have. But back then it was like, what does a studio even look like? Like nobody even knows what it looks like and how it works. So they were like gods to us, you know, like. And we always aspired to be there. I learned a lot of stuff like with my cadences, listening to them, and with my content and what I wanted to be listening to them, and they like just picking up things that they did on their music. Now what I said, it was 2 Demev. They were the older Demev, like Charles, myself, Shalik, and Show. We now are like the younger Demev that takes it further. We take it further than they took it.
Now Charles blows up.
Yeah.
Right. Of course, the entire Demev goes with him, right?
Yeah.
What was that? What was it like living in the moment, you know? And what year was it?
What people don't know is that Charles and I had a falling out long before the Demev thing happened. Well, long before Charles blows up. Yeah. And I didn't want to be a part of it because Charles and I were once a group. I didn't want to be a part of any of that stuff. So now we could take it back to my cousin Boots. My cousin Boots is whipping my ass and telling me, but now look, like just getting into my head, like yo, because I'm a very prideful person. So if you do me wrong, I don't give a fuck. Like you understand? Like I really don't care. Like I don't care what you have. I don't care what you are. But he's telling me like, yo, like you got to speak the H. Like, and Charles and them were reaching out to me and things like that or whatever. And I'm like not talking to anybody. I don't want to talk to you guys because I was so hurt from the situation. And I finally, I don't know, H.O. just called me one day and was like, yo, Nate, we bought you a plane ticket, but you leaving to Cali tomorrow.
Wow, okay.
You leaving to go to Cali tomorrow. I didn't really have a choice. It's just like yo, like, let me get my ass up there.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So they called you out there, you went to California, what happened?
It was just to see the different life of, like I said, like with a lot of people, this is a dream. And it's not, and once it becomes your reality, you get to see it for what it is, and it's an amazing feeling to be living your dream, but at the same time, now your dream is your job. You know, your passion has now, your hobby has now become your career. Okay. You know, and like your mentality and everything has to switch. And we were young at the time, so we took a lot of things for granted that we were expected to have. You know, like being young guys, we expected to have certain things because our success came so fast. So now when we don't have it and we're working our way to get back to where we were, it's just like, you know what, like we're watching our steps and we're watching who we keep around us, and us being, like I said, us being young, we had a lot of bad people in our ears at the time. So a lot of decisions that happened and a lot of things weren't necessarily our fault. It was that we were being led the wrong way.
Okay, I could see how being, so you say that you guys were like 17, 18 around that time?
Yeah, it was 17, 18.
I could see where not having, you know, in a sense, a OG to guide y'all would have been
somebody with our best interests at heart. Not somebody that it should be. I'm gonna speak freely because I don't really care anymore. But when you hear things like we were being saved in the phone as free money, and things like that by people that we looked at as our friends. You know, and these are like these aren't the people that we came in with. These are like the industry heads or whatever, because they know that we the dumb niggas with the budget. You know, like so they can always tax us and always overcharge what they're gonna charge for the map and things like that, because we're not being frugal and we're not being smart with our moves. And people saw that coming along. They noticed our noses was green miles away. And they took advantage of the situation.
Let's take a step back for a second. Let's talk about Charles' rise. Y'all had this process, which now has a term called the Hamiltonization process. Right? Tell people what that is. Cause I mean, you see it a lot now, but it was definitely innovative at the time.
What it was blogs didn't exist at the time. They didn't have the impact and the power that they were. So Charles literally became the first artist on the blogs, and a lot of the blogs now that he used for this process are now like the blog that you want to be on. They're the blogs now. So the idea of the process was to showcase Charles's creativity and also his output, because this is a guy with over 1,000 songs. You know, like now I'm at the point where I can say I have over 1,000 songs, but like it was different back then, because you're 17, 18 years old with 1,000 songs. That says a lot right there. 1,000 songs, 1,000 beats. So what they basically did was they planned on Charles to release. It's a virtual tour, a virtual internet tour across 5 or 6 blogs, I think we did, in which Charles released a new mixtape every 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. It was every 2 weeks he would release a new mixtape. All of yours are new music. So every single 2 weeks you're putting out a new project. You're not putting out a new song. You're putting out 8 to 10 records, or 10, however many records that we're gonna put on this tape or whatever, with the help of DJ Ski and all of the blogs. Shout out to the PR team with Interscope backing and everything like that. You're putting out a new project every 2 weeks. Imagine making 10 songs that gotta be grade A and have them out within 2 weeks. You know, like the thought process and everything behind it now is damn near impossible. Like, because after a while you're gonna sound horrible. You understand? Like, not that many artists.
The content's not gonna be right.
Create at that speed. You can create one fire project in over the course of that 10 weeks or however long it took or whatever. You can create one fire project, but they drop 5 projects over the course of 10 weeks. That's just insane right there.
Wow. All right. So, do you think that you would, or that you could reinvent that to use for yourself at some point in time?
The overexposure thing, I was doing something similar to that, which was the free music campaign when I was on a run for iHeartYN. But it was kind of, I think I put out like 2 songs a week for like 3 months straight. I dropped 2 songs a week for 3 months straight or whatever, like, you know, and this is leading up into me dropping iHeartYN, and it worked tremendously. And now like a lot of artists now are using this overexposure campaign because it's become a thing of promoting your name rather than your actual music. So people are not going to click on all of that music. They're just going to see your name pop
too much name, because a lot of music comes out now. I mean, it's
too much.
Honestly, you know, people don't grasp that. You know, I feel like I consume music at a pretty fast pace compared to other people, but there's no way, like, I mean, today I spent, I want to say 6 hours just listening to new music. Just like going through playlists, some people who I really respect, you know, across the country, just listening to what they're listening to, and that was fun. But if you ask me to do it tomorrow, I'll tell you hell no.
Nah.
6 hours? Nah, fam. Nah. Like, I can't. I don't have that attention span.
Within that time, like, what did you grasp out of it? You know, like, which songs do you remember?
I remember a couple. But I remember them because I was able to save them.
6 hours music.
Hell no.
6 hours worth of music. So this is when artists have to get creative. Like, it's cool to shoot a lot of shots, but when it's 5 seconds left in the game, yo, you can't shoot 30 shots. You know, that one shot is the one that matters, yo. So make your one fucking shot, yo. Put your best foot forward at all times, and that'll work out better for you rather than putting out a bunch of bullshit.
You were innovative in yourself. You not only started to realize that you needed to make your music and push yourself as a brand, but you came up with a pretty dope concept that's still relevant today, I think, called Deal with No Deal.
Yeah.
So talk to me about, you know, why you wanted to put that together, and you know, where it went then and where it is now.
Deal with No Deal came about because we're coming out of the Charles situation. Now like the deal is over, and we're trying to just figure. I was just in a place where I was upset because I hadn't. People on the surface, I can sit up here and tell you like things were what it was or whatever. Like I had $1 million. I didn't have $1 million during Charles' situation. Like Charles and them had that money. Yeah. I didn't have shit.
Facts.
You understand? Like so, it looked a lot better on the surface than what it was. And during the time, like I'm still trying to figure out like what can I do? Like I'm running scams and hustling still. Like like while my man's is doing X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
So when we're coming out of the Charles' situation. 2 dope boys had reached out to myself and my other dude BA, and they said, yo, can we get a tape from y'all? Can we get a project from y'all? We want to host a project from y'all. So shout out to Shake and Mecca, they actually reached out, and since it was 2 of us, we said, yo, we're gonna call up tape 2 dope boys. And
that's like, okay.
Yeah, and they were like, no, you can't do that or whatever, because what if we want to use the name later on down the line?
Yeah.
So like, all right, cool or whatever. So I'm sitting back and I'm thinking about, yo, what the hell can we call this tape or whatever? Because the music is damn near done. And what can we do? So I don't know. I just said, fuck it, yo. I just popped up to my head, deal with no deal. And where I stand on is that I don't just put out music for the sake of putting out music. I want everything to have a purpose, have a meaning, and have longevity. Like this move leads to this move. So I said, yo, we're gonna do this deal with no deal thing, and we're gonna actually capture the hunger and what's happening in the city right now, and we're gonna create this platform for other artists. We're gonna start a TV show. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. Like I had this huge idea of exactly what I wanted to see, all like way back when or whatever. That just sparked off of the music, because like I said, it's not just about the music. It's what can you take after that? A lot of people only playing up to the project release, but what can you take it after that? So I just grabbed up my people. We took a camera around. We started shooting Deal with No Deal TV. I was doing the blogging thing. We put up the website. I literally changed youngnate.com to dealwithnodeal.com.
It'd be like that.
So I took it and switched up everything or whatever, and sent all of my traffic that was coming for Young Nate. I sent it to other artists. And I was going through the email. I put it up, and I was just like, yo, let's do this blog that is not. Because dealing with the blogs, I know that they have their cattiness and they have their ways or whatever, in which certain artists can't give up. They have their favoritism. So let me make something that's just neutral. That anybody, as long as your shit is hot, as long as your product is hot, as long as you got hot music or you got a hot video or hot clothes, if you're a fashion designer, if whatever it is, as long as the quality is great, you will always have a platform. And that's what Deal with No Deal is. As long as the quality is great, you will have a platform, you will have an outlet.
Deal with No Deal is one of the things that actually gave me I don't want to use the word power, but gave me the spark to start the Encore Radio Show. So a lot of my success comes from you. So I want to thank you for that. I finally had a chance to meet Khari back in October. Obviously, I know Cope, and I met Shenae like years ago, like 3 or 4 years ago now, whatever. And at the time, watching you guys was like watching superheroes. I'm like, damn, like, yo, that's where I want to be. That's what I want to do. And thus here we are. I had a chance to really sit down and talk to all three of you guys. That was
Copastetik taking the reins, because after a while it became so demanding on me.
Oh yeah, because it is heavy lifting.
To actually do I run Deal with No Deal, and do I become Young Nate? And I never wanted the two or somebody to ever feel like this is Young Nate's thing. Like this is not my thing. But I want people to know, for me, and I feel the same way that Pac always felt, like I'm just the catalyst. Like, and whatever else happens after that, y'all can take this shit and go way further than me, B. But I'm gonna let y'all know that it's possible. It's possible. Like it's some form of this is possible. Whatever they told you that you couldn't do, I'm gonna be the person that does it. And then you can take this shit wherever you want to go. I may not do it the best. I may not be the best artist. I may not be the best whatever. But you got the potential to do it. It's doable now. So that's where Cope and Khari took it, and Khari took it, and Shenae took it, and they just took it and they ran. And I was so proud and so happy to see what it was becoming and what everything was becoming, because I'm like, yo, these are just thoughts that are in my head. And for people to believe in a vision, yo, I will never take that for granted. Like I said, I'm just the catalyst.
That's what's up. So at what point, I know you said that you and Charles had a falling out before a lot of stuff happened, you not wanting to be in the Mev and all that, but At what point, past that now, did your relationship with him start to change? Did you start to see that things wasn't the same like before?
I'll say this. I'm a true friend. And I don't care what a person has. Like I said, like I could curse. I've been cursing this whole time. Yo, I'm a nigga, B. Like, so if you my nigga, I'm gonna talk to you like you my nigga. Like, and the moment that you start bugging out or you do something or whatever like that and nobody is checking you, like between me and my boys, like I was saying is, if we don't check each other, who's gonna check us?
Facts.
So I hang out with people that are an extension of myself. So at times we can't see what we're doing ourselves because I'm inside of my body. So I need somebody else to tell me, yo Nate, yo, this is you bugging right now, or whatever. So the same thing would come across when it came to Charles, and it was a thing like, yo, Charles is just being Charles. You know, like Charles is just being Charles. He's just doing Charles. He's just being Charles or whatever. Like, nah, yo, there's right and there's wrong, and there's real shit and that's bullshit, or whatever. So when I started checking the bullshit, and you know, you got this person is the one that's fronting the bill. So a lot of people are holding their tongues because he's the one that's paying you right now, whatever. And like I said, yo, I'm not getting no dollar for this. And even if you was paying me for this, yo, I'm a man first. I hold my dick like everybody else. You know, like you won't. I don't hold your. I'm not gonna shake your dick, nigga. I'm gonna hold my dick. Like, you know, like, so fuck all that. You gonna have to come to me correct. And when I noticed that shit was changing and this person is not coming to me correct, and this person is changing up the way that they are, that's when I had to, like, you know. So long before you see Charles falling out, like I was already not fucking with Charles. Long before that, but I would never speak bad on the person. This is still my brother to this day. And I understand with life and with everything that we were going through and the pressure with us being young, but I, you know, like, you just come to me correct, be like.
I respect that. I respect that 100%. Like I expect the people that I let into my circle, the people that I really fucks with, that know my real name, to tell me, yo, Wise, you fucking up, or Wise, you need to do this, or Wise, you need to do that. I definitely respect and understand that. So let's move. Let's talk about Woody. We never got to talk about Woody.
Yeah.
So when did you meet Woody, and how much did he adjust your sound to be more of the young Nate that we hear today?
I met Woody like that when I said when Charles, they told me that Charles buying that ticket, that plane ticket or whatever. And that first trip to LA, I meet Woody and we're at the record plant. And they got like a basketball court in there and shit like that. I met Woody and Smarty. So Charles and I are gonna play 2-on-2 in the studio or whatever against Smarty, who was my manager at the time, who was running around and running the studio. Shout out to Smarty, shout out to Jen, and Woody was there too. Woody was a runner. So he was like an assistant engineer, but like below that, and he was just running around. But Woody happened to be one of the coolest dudes ever. And Charles was like, yo, you gotta fuck with Woody, you gotta like just meet Woody and stuff like that. And that was like my first encounter with him. I'm like, this dude is cool. So while Charles is on his run, we come back to New York. Charles has a house, and HO was speaking to him, and they were speaking to Woody. And they asked him to come over here to New York and work with us. Now Woody's from Northern California. He trusted in us and came all the way over here to fucking New York to fuck with us. And out of everybody that was in Demev, I just clicked, and I don't know, like it was just right. When I was working with Woody, like I trusted Woody and Woody trusted me. And when a lot of beats that people were passing on and things that people were passing on, when it came to Woody, like I'm listening to it and I'm hearing the genius and the potential of what this can be, and he's hearing the same thing within me. And it just clicked. It was just the trust factor there. And Woody trusted me, and whenever I would come to Woody and I would say, yo, I wanna sing. You know, like, mind you, I'm starting off as a battle rapper. I started off as a battle rapper.
You went far left or
and
far right.
I'm like, yo, I want to sing. I want to try this. Woody and I recorded a whole album together, which eventually becomes in a certain like angle of it. It's a lot of the material for I Hotwire was the original album that Woody and I recorded. So songs like Who Knows Who Cares, Aviator, Blackout. I think there's some other joints on there too. But that was the original album that Woody and I recorded together. And we just kept some of the best material.
I know a lot of artists that do that. I mean, I do know of Woody because I interviewed another artist, Raven Sorvino, who had a lot of her stuff done.
Yeah, shout out to Raven.
Yeah, shout out to Raven. Yo, I love her. But yeah, you know, a lot of artists, they go on what I call marathon runs where they just record 20, 30, 40 songs and pick like 10. I'm like, okay, well, yeah, these are the best 10. These are the ones I'm gonna go with. And some of the other ones they might release as loosies or just throw them away or put them in stash or whatever it is. So you move out to LA. You in LA now. What was that time like? How long were you in LA for?
I think I was in LA for like 3 years.
3 years. What was that? What was that 3 years? What were those 3 years like? Being that you from New York now, you were a battle rapper. You had the whole experience with Charles. Now you're like, okay, now I'm breaking out to be my own artist. I'm putting out my project. I'm working with people in Cali. I live in Cali now.
It was just a learning experience. Like, again, like the culture shock, just the way that things are different over there, and I loved it. Like, and time went by so fast that it didn't even feel like I was out there for that long. It didn't. Okay. Nah, it didn't even feel like it. Like I come home, like we built my studio up from scratch, and so I'm meeting Casey Veggies, everybody out there. All of these dope people. Freddie Gibbs lived in my building. Like, a lot of people. Like, it was just so dope. Yeah. Like, you know, like, and like I said, time just flew. Like, and I learned a lot about myself. And out there, I didn't have any family, anything like that. So after I put out I Hotwire, I'm at like the top of my game. You know, I'm at the top of the game. Like, everybody knows who Young Nate is or whatever. That was around at the time. There wasn't a blog that I couldn't get on, and I had a nervous breakdown. And I was just like questioning everything, because up until that point I had just been going for so long. Like, you know, like, we leave high school to become Young Nate and Charles Hamilton, and then we break up or whatever, but I'm still making music. Charles is still making music over on his side or whatever. Boom, now the Charles situation happens, he blows up, and now we're still going. And then the next thing you know, I'm in LA and I'm with Woody, and I no longer live in New York, and I'm just going. And like, one day I just stopped and was like, yo, what the fuck am I doing right now? You know, like, I just need a break. So I turned my phone off. I literally just didn't go home. I checked myself into a hotel, and I just stayed to myself. Like, I just couldn't do it anymore. Like, mentally, I just couldn't do it anymore, because I'm at the highest point that I've ever been as Young Nate, by a solo artist. But I just wasn't happy. There was something missing. There was something missing. So I take a break from music, and then I come back, and I'm making this project, Meant to Be Broken, with Woody. And Woody is like the one that's pushing me in. And you know, like, I started going to see a life coach and like therapist. And I'm asking him, like, yo, B, I'm not crazy, yo. Like, and all of this is me growing and developing. Yeah. So, and
I respect you as a young man going.
Yeah, and you had to go and see a psychiatrist, because if you go and get a physical twice a year, you need to go and see a psychiatrist twice a year too, just to get mentally what's in your mind. In our Black community, we don't focus on our mental health as much as we focus on our physical health. So we carry a lot of weight. So it got to the point where I couldn't carry it anymore. So when I'm speaking to my life coach now, this is when I'm turning into the Young Nate that you see here today. And I'm telling my life coach all of my problems, and he says, yo, I'm going through the same shit that you're going through. This is an old white guy, you know, he's like 65 or some shit like that or whatever. Like, and he's like, yo, like, you stressed out with your job? I'm stressed out too. Like, he's like, yo, you having family issues? Like, whatever you going through, like, I'm going through the same thing. And we was sitting there, and he was like, yo, but the difference between you and I is that you have an outlet. So you need to be writing about that, because that's the music that I'll buy. You know, and this is a 65-year-old white guy that's talking to me like a young knucklehead from Harlem or whatever, like, that knows nothing. He probably, you know, like, he can't chill on these corners without looking out of place. You know, like, but he's telling me, like, yo, this is this type of stuff that I want to hear, that's missing in music that you need to be talking about. So I just had the idea of, like, Meant to Be Broken, which is my second solo project, because mentally I was broken. But everything is meant to be broken to build it back up. And to my heart, that's one of the realest projects, because I wasn't that, and Illuminate to me are my two favorite projects that I've ever put out. But it's just me finding myself as an artist. It's me taking the chances. It's me doing all the stuff that I would tell Woody, y'all want to sing, y'all want to do this, I want to do that, or whatever. Like, you know, like, I want to write for other people. And it was a while before I actually started writing rap again, because I went and took a break from rap and started writing other genres. I was writing bachata. I'm writing, you know, my Spanish is very limited, so I got to Google shit or whatever. I'm writing R&B, pop, country. I'm writing all of these other genres. And eventually taking this pen and putting it back into my life, and all of these different tools, and, you know, different forms of music helped me create better music for myself now, because I took it and stopped listening to it as rap and just started listening to it as music and me telling my story. So
between I Heart YN and Meant to Be Broken, what was the fan feedback from both of those projects?
People love I Heart YN or whatever, and that kicked down a lot of doors for me. If you don't hear Meant to Be Broken as the album from beginning to end, then you don't quite understand what I was doing. You know, like when we were releasing the singles and everything, it was just an entirely different campaign, and we were putting it out the same way that we were doing for I Heart YN. So I Heart YN is a single driven project. Like there's just single at the single at the single at the single, and that's exactly how I recorded it. And now Meant to Be Broken is an actual conceptual album. And you can't release it as singles. You know, you gotta package it as a whole in order for it to get it sold. I
love my projects like that now, but when I was 22, not
you didn't
so
understand
much.
that. People didn't understand that. So and not to say like a full concept, because you can still break it up because of the way that I write the music, but the song that people took out of there was Feelings. So that's Fuck How You Feel, you know, which is, I'm hearing that's people's favorite song, because at the time Charles had sent like a diss record to me or whatever, and I write Fuck How You Feel. Oh, whatever, you know, like
fair enough. I like it.
That's the song that people take from that project.
Okay. But you know what though? I think, like, I always say this, you know, my favorite projects from artists are typically their first one, because it's the one where you really hear the most from them. You hear the most pain, the most, like, all of their most extreme feelings you hear from that project. And it sounds like it came from into your second project and not your first, but you know, people didn't get it, people didn't understand it as much, whatever. How did you respond to that? How did you respond to people not grasping it?
I didn't really give a fuck, because where it comes, I'm the opposite of like the first project being your best project. I'm actually better now. I'm way better than I was on my first project. Like, and I don't understand how artists like can't keep up with the same tenacity of their first project, because our brain is a muscle, and if you're truthfully utilizing this muscle and using this muscle, then you should be getting better. Your music now should be developing. We're experiencing new things. We're on a grander scale, you know, of what we can have in our life experiences, and there's so much for us to talk about. We live 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. I have 365 stories that I can tell you every single year. Like, I can make a song for every single day, just with what the fuck I'm going through right now. So how are you not getting better? Like I said, I'm the opposite of that, because if you listen to me and my capabilities of what I can do now, you would say, oh damn, like that you know, this date is different. Like, nigga, I'm way better than that other date over there. Like, just wittier and learning and mastering my craft as I go along. So,
do you think it was because people were accustomed to one thing, and you know, as you said, you were being more open, you were talking about things that were happening, you were in LA, you didn't the experience
it was an experimental album. It was something like when 808s and Heartbreaks drops, everybody like, what the hell is this or whatever. When Yeezus drops, what the hell is this or whatever. So I know with my music too, sometimes I'm way ahead of what I should be doing. So I rarely release music that I record in real time, because I heard. Yeah, I know that people are not gonna get where my mind is at right now, like, because I'm that far ahead. Like, mentally, I'm just y'all not catching up to this yet. So and that was the time where I dropped real-time music. And that's where you get the effect of what happens when I drop my real-time thoughts. Now, if I hold this project on a Meant to Be Broken now, and I release it after you get a Kendrick, after you get a J. Cole, after you get all of these albums and shit like that, and all of this music, and Bryson Tiller drops, and then I drop Meant to Be Broken today, then it's like, oh shit, like, you know, like, oh shit, like, this is like a chick-driven album. You hear me talking about my love life, which is something that I'm not talking about on I Heart YN or any of my projects. Like, you know, like, you get all of these feelings and all of these emotions. I got EDM on there. You know, I got an EDM record on there. I was performing in EDM festivals out in California for this one song. Like, so, you know, like, I can see it. I can see what it is, and whether or not y'all are gonna accept it and understand what I'm doing. And I wasn't making music for New York or making music for the blogs. I was making music for people that feel like me. That's when I realized I'm making music for Nathaniel and the other Nathaniels out there.
Respect. All right, so let's cut to a quick break. Folks, we here with Yung Nate, of course. Make sure you guys follow him on Twitter at Yung Nate, right?
At YUNGNATE.
Facts. All right, folks, we'll be right back. It's the Encore Radio Show. Good morning.
Coming up on a future episode of the Encore Radio Show. Yeah. Hotwire. Ring around Rosie, bag full of kill. You don't know me, just know my skills. Everybody wanna get a record deal. And fuck that nigga, I wreck your deal. See how these hate niggas hate for real? All I wanna do is smoke weed and chill. Roll a fat one, then smoke to the grill. But everybody wanna be the man that's still. I don't need your talent, I'm the man for real. The look in my eyes might give you a chill. I split your melon like an orange pill. I need these trees, I don't need these pills. Fuck that, I trap out, I'm black for real. I put rappers back in their places still. I can't calm down till I smoke these pants. Yes, I'm the best and they all know now. If they try to, then they lie on the ground while I'm 5 in the round. While your girl give me crying that she laying for the team. Hotwire right now is the time that we take over town like Nino Brown. I can see no clouds, you can see no doubt. You can see me now like CB Brown being Riri now. And she got with them and she burnt the house down. Who won back with some new high grade? Raise your hand like you in the first grade. I can't lie, I'm here to get paid. Smoke that good right here on stage. Only rap nigga in the heavy metal rave with a badass chick with a mohawk fade. Yes, I spread everywhere like a plague. If they wanna rap like me, okay. I'd rather be me than them anyway. I smoke heavyweight, bar Molly every day. Lyrically, I'm on the back like a loaded AK. Loaded AK? Loaded AK. Roll it up, light it up, smoking AK. 47 got a nigga on that way. I'm so high, I don't know about that. A lot of THC inside me. Young girls wanna show me ID. 18 and over to party with me. Girl, I don't wanna be an R. Kelly. I got the VIP so smelly. This is my B-I-B-L-E. Shorty got a man, but I'm in a celly. I'ma knock it out like Muhammad Ali. Then I roll another bag at a kamikaze. Before I leave, let me tell you one thing. Mama told me one day I'd be a king. Kneel down on your knees, you get that ring. Every time you see me, I'm doing my thing. I got a lot of habits, weed and bling. I like ice and I like things. And I like freak chicks with tongue rings. That can back it up like a tow truck thing. Keep a pack of magnums when I'm fucking.
Alright, folks, we back to Encore Radio Show. Live here. This is Wise Soul. I'm here with Young Nate.
Yeah.
Make sure you guys follow Young Nate on Twitter. You on Instagram as well?
On Instagram as well.
Yeah.
At Young Nate, YUNGNATE on everything.
Yes. Alright, so April 2013. You were at SOB's. It was you, Davies, and Show to Fly for the New Hop concert series, New Harlem. Right? Your next time on stage, on SOB's stage, was the Raekwon show.
Yeah.
This past year, 2015, December. What was it like to be on stage again, on that stage again?
Certain stages, as artists, we know that this is when it counts.
Yeah.
So SOB's is for New York. If you're from New York, you know that the next stage after SOB's that counts is Webster Hall counts as well, but SOB's, then you go to like Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
That's the Madison Square Garden for the underground, which is that SOB stage. So you just know that you gotta be on your A game. Like that you can't miss a step. All those shows that we were doing that led to this moment, like they only matter when I hit this SOB stage. Like this is when it really fucking counts, yo. And the reception for that, like at the time, when I do New Harlem, like Work is my big record at the time. So when I get to Work, like the reception is crazy. You know, like it was just dope or whatever. Like I'm gonna perform, I'm gonna leave my heart on that stage. And now when I do Check the Method, which is not even out for like 2 months at the time, and I can hear the crowd screaming it. And it was just like, oh my God, like yo, what the hell? Like yo, this is different right now. You know, like that was like a big moment for me.
Check the M-E-T-H-O-D. M-E-T-H-O-D. Check the M-E-T-H-O-D. M-E-T-H-O-D. Check the M-E-T-H-O-D. M-E-T-H-O-D. Check the M-E-T-H-O-D. M-E-T-H-O-D.
Yo, get off my staff. Been slinging rocks since the people's I rap. Triple beam, can't you see my smack? Way more in store, come and check my app. You ain't paid dues, but that check might bounce. My click tight, while we click clap.
Yo, I cherish that. We use that footage for the actual video, you know?
Yeah. I did see that. That video seemed like you got a lot of fun shooting that.
Yeah, we had so much fun shooting that. Check them at the video. We did that on the fly one night randomly.
Yo, what train was that? What town was it?
That's the 3 train at 148th, and it's like 2 o'clock in the morning. It's like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, yo. And we had did an event over at my spot, the H-Loft. And then I just was like, yo, fuck it, yo, we gonna shoot this shit right now. I told Qu'ality, I'm like, yo, call up the camera, yo, we out here. We gonna shoot this shit right now.
Call up the camera.
And the whole party just ran over with us. You know, like, yeah, we just was out there in the cold. We woke into the train and we wilding out on the way to the train. I'm like, yo, catch all of this, yak. I'm telling the kid, yo, catch all of this, bro. We gonna catch all of this and we're gonna build up to this train scene. We just gonna start wilding out on the train. So I'm telling the guys that I'm with, I'm like, yo, bro, like, don't worry about pushing me out of the way or nothing like that. Whatever you feel, like, yo, just leave it all out there. Just do whatever you want at this particular moment. And it came out just like that.
So, you know, I've never been on a music video scene. So, is the music playing there as well?
Yeah, the music is playing as well. The
Okay.
music is playing as well. Whatever we're using for our playback audio, we had like the mini speaker because we're walking and traveling. Sometimes you want to play it out of car, but you want it to play as loud as you possibly can so that you can catch it on a playback while they're editing it. So they're just matching up the one and two things together.
Perfect. Okay, yeah. I've never had the opportunity to get invited out. So, artists, if y'all want to invite me out to y'all music videos, dancing all up in your music videos, I got you, son.
I hear you, Puff. I hear you.
Oh man, okay, so you know we jumped forward to 2013, but I do want to ask, when did you actually come back to New York? When did you say, okay, enough is enough in LA, let me be out of here?
It was so SOB. It's like the year before I come back and do the SOB. Like that's the same year. It's like a year before that.
Okay.
So I want to say like 2012. I come back to New York.
So you left. You went from Cali back to New York.
I came back to New York. Yeah, and I didn't plan on being in New York for that long. You know, like it just happened to where I'm like, yo, I'm back home, and this is the feeling. Like I said, when I'm doing Meant to Be Broken, this is that void that was missing. It's being with my family. It's being with the people that I knew since the beginning, where I could turn around and say, yo, remember that time back in 7th grade where I slapped Keisha ass, like, you know, like, yeah, see? And her brother came and beat me up, like, you know, like on the wood shit or whatever, like, yeah. And it's just those moments that keep you grounded and keep you level. You need your friends around you in this game.
You know, it's crazy. I respect that and I understand that 100%. I had a very similar situation to that, yeah, you know, I feel comfortable being alone. Like I live alone. I mean, I'm actually probably going through it right now, but I have the experience of going through it the first time that I know how to react. But yeah, like I live in the Bronx right now and I live alone. All my family lives in Brooklyn. Well, all my family here in America lives in Brooklyn, and all the rest of it lives in Barbados. So when I start to feel more withdrawn, not want to be around like anyone, I take the hour and change trip down to Brooklyn on the train. You gotta
just go and see your family. It's nothing like that hug.
Yo, when I hop out the train at Church and Nostrand, son, I walk in. I'm in Flatbush.
You in Flatbush?
I'm in Flatbush. I'm like, yo, I'm back. Every time I swear, go back to Flatbush, I'm on Snapchat. I'm like, yo, I'm back in the bush.
I used to live over there. Church and Nostrand, funny shit. Yeah,
that's my old hood, son. That's my old hood. I love Flatbush. I love Flatbush. So I completely understand that void there. So now we're back in 2013 ish. So Camel style. When did you become a part of Camel?
Camel, I've just always been around the Camel dudes or whatever. So if you even check going back to what you living like, this is before the SOB show. You can see my video is full of Camel style.
Yeah.
Oh, you got Frank Ranch, you got Skull, you got I think P was at the shoot. So it's just always been I've always been around my guys and whatnot, yo. And it was just the thing, like I think, yo, it's time. It's time for us to like really do this and really submit it, because I was always Camo by affiliation. So you know, like they was always gonna ride for me no matter what or whatever. And dude, I knew everything about Camo up until I said, yo, you know what, B, but like they're like, I'm Camo, nigga. I told them, I was like, nigga, I'm Camo, bro. They were like, Nate, like, of course, nigga, like you been here, like, you know, like. So it was just one of those things, B. With the camaraderie, yo, the dopeness of it, like it's just the team, like, you know, is it like I said, like you can't do this by yourself, man.
Was that something that you missed after the Demev kind of like everyone went? Now I won't say they went their separate ways, but everyone kind of started doing different things. Did you miss that aspect of the group?
It was definitely something that was missing, because I feed off of my peers. In order to be the best, I need you know, the steel sharp as steel. So I need to be around artists. Like every single artist needs to be around other artists. You need to be in that collective or whatever in order to push yourself forward. In order to push your music forward, you need to know you keep your competition with you, keep that friendly spirit, you know, of the competition there. Like you nice, B, but I'm gonna kill you on this song. You know, and I can't do that as a solo artist by myself, you know, like, because that's always my mentality. But, you know, like, I can't tell you, yo, I'm going to kill you on the song, bro. You going to, like, you know, you're not going to take it the same way. Nope, but if we on the same team, you know that, all right, I'm going to kill you this time and you going to gun for me the next time around. So I need to be on my shit by the next time that you come out, you know, like, so that was needed. Now,
we had Illuminate now, right? So you had Illuminate done for 2 years. Now I'm gonna source that real quick. Shout out to Word of Mouth Radio. You held it for 2 years though. Why?
The same feeling of like when I said with the Meant to Be Broken. I've learned how to make music that'll be timeless. So no matter when I drop it, like it'll always hit. Now the thing is, like I said, whether or not it's the time that I want to put it out, and I do everything fully with my heart. So if my heart is not in it, then I'm not gonna do it. And at the time that I was gonna drop Illuminate, I'm like, you know what, like they not ready for this. They're not ready for this yet, or whatever. Like the timing just gotta be right. Everything just gotta be right. You gotta master the art of timing. So when I dropped it was just off the fly. I was inspired again, you know, like I had just came back from seeing Trey Pizzy at SOB's on that Monday, and I think I put out the project that very next day, that Tuesday. So that's literally how it happened. I saw him, and I had a conversation with Ty Hickson, who is the engineer and the person I was working with through the entire project. He had a conversation with me, and he was like, yo, Nate, yo, you could drop your shit whenever, bro. You got that type of shit that it don't even matter, bro. You could just, you know, he reiterated this fact to me, because we all have our doubts and we all go through what we go through, because we're human beings and we're all gonna come up too. So I needed that motivation. So the next morning I wake up and I had the album art done. Shouts to Ajavelli. I had the picture done, and I got this app on my phone, and I just threw Young Nate on her picture that I already took for the cover. And I was like, yo, fuck it, I'm gonna put this shit out right now. And I zipped up the file and I just dropped that shit.
Your fans hadn't heard from you, or hadn't heard from you musically 2 years.
Yeah.
Right. From a marketing perspective now, because I try to look at it from all kinds of perspectives. From a marketing perspective, what were you thinking? You gotta promo with the single. You gotta push it for a little while. Like what? It just like out of the blue.
It was the same thing that I learned from Meant to Be Broken. Like I said, like how are we gonna package it? And I don't really care. You know, like I believe in my talent. So at the end of the day, like if you press play, you gonna fuck with me. The moment that you press play, yo, you gonna fuck with me, bro. Like nigga, I know I'm a beast. Like nigga, I know what I'm capable of. So with me trusting in my abilities and trusting in people that are still gonna fuck with me, and the blogs that still fuck with me, that have been riding with me since I started this, I just trusted in them, and I trusted in myself, and I just woke up one day and said, yo, I'm gonna do this. Because over that course of the 2 years, I'm still using the hashtag Illuminate. So people are still looking for it, and people are still waiting and anticipating for this project to drop. So people were begging me to put that shit out, and there was certain people that had heard it that I went to the listening party. So people, it's actual fact, I did the listening party 2 years before I put out the album. You understand? Like, and people knew that it was done, and they were just literally just waiting for me to put it out. And
I heard Fun and Julius was there.
Yeah, Julius had missed it, if I'm not mistaken. I think Julius missed it. Julius had RSVP'd. He apologized for missing it. But a lot of people I didn't even know who Julius was at the time. And for these people to be these new people that are on the scene, that are still privy and still knowledgeable to what I was doing before, that meant more to me than anything. And that's when I'm like, yo, I do have a certain amount of power, and I do have a certain amount of responsibility to set this tone and set the bar to where I need it to be.
All right, well, you know, I respect that. I respect the fact. I mean, it came out. I mean, you got your part of Camo as it was anyway. Camo 2015 was
the flood of the project.
Yo, and
the flood of the project.
Y'all definitely handled that.
I wasn't slated to go up. Everybody, it's like I'm literally telling you, everybody knew that it was done. Everyone knew that it was done, and I was just like, you know what, like, I'm gonna drop it today. So let's say, for instance, like I wake up, I'm working on Lurk Cobain right now, my follow-up project. I'm the type of person that I'll just wake up and drop that shit tomorrow. That's literally how I feel. Like I literally just gotta be in the mood to say like, yo, it's time for y'all to hear this. You know, and if I sit on my music for too long, then you'll never hear it. And certain things led up to me saying like, yo, you know what, I gotta drop Illuminate.
Check the method now. This is the first song off of Lurk Cobain. Talk to me about the direction that you're going with Lurk Cobain.
I won't give you too much, because then people are gonna jack the idea.
Okay, fair enough.
So, Check the Method just happened to be I was after I dropped Illuminate, I hadn't recorded in so long. So you're looking at a project that I made 2 years ago, and I was going on like 7 to 8 months with me not being in the studio. Me focusing on my outside ventures, Harlem, getting Deal with No Deal back up, and things like that. And Qu'ality had come to me and he said, yo, Nate, yo, you gotta get back into the studio. You gotta start making music, and start letting niggas know, like, that they don't understand your talent.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and a lot of people around me be like, yo, Nate, yo, they don't understand, like, that you are not on that level. Like, you know, like, people may look like, yo, we all the same thing or whatever, nigga, but I'm gonna smoke you on these records, bro. Like, you're not about to out-rap me. So, he was working on this concept album.
Yo, fuck the Broncos, bitch.
They just won?
I'm sure the game is not over.
They just won?
Oh, wow.
Oh, man. You hear that, B? The Broncos just won the Super Bowl, B.
Wow.
But, it was just with Qua just getting me back into the studio. He had he was working on a remix project, and he had, like, all of these flips and all of these beats, and I go into there, and I had another beat in my mind that I wanted to work on, and he plays me Check the Method. And I'm just like, yo, this is crazy, bro. This is crazy right here, B. And literally, I want to say 20 minutes, 25 minutes or whatever, I write the whole song and record the shit, and shit is done.
20 minutes?
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying, like
you can't make it look so easy, man.
I was just reading something today. I don't know what I was watching, but it said, if you do it right, then people would never know that you did it. If it's done the right way, then people would never know that you did it. So, if I truthfully tell people, like, yo, B, you're not getting, like, my full thought or whatever, you know, you're just getting, this is a feeling, this is an emotion for me. Like I said, it's all feeling, and it all gotta be right. It gotta be right. Like, I gotta feel it, and it gotta move me. So if I'm having fun doing it, then you'll have fun listening to it, you'll have fun receiving it. So you see the same excitement for me every single time I get up there and I perform the song. Every single time that I play the song, like, you're getting that excitement from me. I'm happy to do this right now. You know, like, and now it's just to get the work and to keep it going, and without, you know, learning my balance between the events and the brands and getting the music back out there.
When do you think that we could expect Lurk Cobain?
My goal is to have it out by, like, March. Like,
okay.
Like March, April. This is a realistic date. This is me telling you realistic. And because, like, there's so much happening in the city right now that I'm like, yo, I do play an integral part in it. So between what I'm able to do and what I'm able to put on for the city and, like, my actual talent, and I'd be cheating you guys if I didn't be Young Nate for you guys, like, because this is for me, this is for my son, this is for my family, like, and for everybody that's just sitting here just like, yo, Nate, like, you gotta go get it, bro. Like, and you know, like, and it's a mental thing in myself, like, yo, you know, like, I don't want to sit there and read the rhymes, so I stopped reading rhymes and stopped being so mechanical with it, and I finally found my inspiration again, to where I'm ready to do it.
In 2009, in the interview, you said, and I quote, "My affairs should be forgotten, and for people to feel like, oh, Nate had potential, but he didn't do nothing with it. Nate could have did this, but he didn't do nothing with it." Do you have that same fear in 2016?
Every day. That keeps me going every single day. The greats that we look up to are gonna be forgotten. Yeah, they got rich, yeah, they made their millions, but they're gonna be forgotten. And what did you do with your impact on this earth? How did you impact the earth? How did you impact your community or whatever? When I'm gone, they gotta name a block after me. You know, like, that's what I'm grinding for. So,
Harlem. We talked previously about Harlem. Y'all gotta check out that interview if y'all want to get all the back details on Harlem and everybody else, right? What goals do you have for Harlem? Like, I can see Harlem growing up to be this intricate part of the city. What are some quick goals you have for Harlem now?
I want people to plan their year around coming to Harlem Fest, like the same way that we know that South by Southwest is always in March. We always looking for that shit or whatever, so people take their time off of their work, and you know they gotta be there. So that's what I see for Harlem. And also, we're working on something called the Harlem Art Project, which is where you see a lot of me doing a lot of philanthropy work. It's to actually give back to my community and rebuild my community. So these are the things that will be going on all over the course of the year. And also just giving people a break. This is something that I'm building for next generations, for our generation. Yes, yo. And if anybody needs a job, anybody needs help, anybody need, you know, like, come and build with me. Let's come and do this. Like, we can make this profitable. We can reach the sky for this, for our limit. But this is to rebuild my community and to put my city back up. There's no reason why we should be flying out to go and do something else, you know, like to go to South by or go to Coachella and make sure that we hitting all of these events. Like, people got to come to New York, they got to come uptown, they got to come and fuck with us. Facts. You know, you got to come here to be known, and I want people to plan their year around coming to Harlem Fest.
All right, so we're in some interesting times. Some people will call this our generation civil rights movement. Yeah. You know, like, I look at it as the beginning. I think that there's so much more to a civil rights movement than what we've been doing right now. I think that we should learn from the first civil rights movement and some things that we kind of left off of that, like building up political clout. Yeah. You know, I feel like a lot of the times, you know, we talked outside before we came in here about Democrats. The Democrats, they feel like they have our vote. I read an article this morning actually about why the Democrats should not just rely on the black millennial vote all the time, because we might not be there sometimes. You know, there are if there are, you know, the one thing that Democrats that they can say is that they don't have to be concerned with us as much because the Republicans are so
out of tune.
I think that's a little bit of an understatement to what they do, but yeah, I mean, out of tune completely with what's going on in our communities. You know, they can take us for granted, but if a political party was to come up that was an option for us, you know, even if it was just an option, even if it wasn't really that serious, but it could take away votes. Whereas people like Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders don't have to just automatically assume that no matter what, the black community collectively is gonna caucus and vote with them. We could have some differences. So, you know, what's your take on the political atmosphere right now?
It's a circus show right now to me. That's the best way to describe it. When you got like Donald Trump and people, like you said, people assuming that we're gonna vote for them and we're gonna fuck with you. Why? Yeah. Like, our generation X, why? Our generation is angry. Our generation wants change, and this is the same, like you said, the same motivation that sparked the civil rights movement. As to where during the civil rights movement, they asked why. Why can't I use this sink? That's the same sink as the sink over there, but why is this one the colored sink and that one is the white sink? So, and now this is what we're doing now. This is like our generation. It's very angry. Yeah, it's very angry, and this is the energy of revolution. The anger, the questioning. We got a problem with authority. Of course, we got a problem with authority. Who the fuck made you the authority? Yeah, you understand? Like, why? Like, and you can't answer me why. You can't. Y'all have lied to us for long enough. Yo, you can't answer me why. We're entrepreneurs in the way that we think. We don't want to go and get jobs. We want to start our own businesses. We want to be the leaders. We want to change. We want change, and we're fighting for change, and we're angry, and the powers that be may be manipulating what we do or whatever, and certain things like in the media may be betraying us in different ways of what we're not actually doing. You know, like the Super Bowl going on right now, you got Cam Newton being a thug and Peyton Manning being a nice guy. Just because Peyton Manning is you understand what I'm saying? Like this is how they're painting us right now. So, and this is what we're going through. But does that, like, my black skin made me guilty before I even entered this courtroom. So now we're asking why. Yeah, this shouldn't be like that. Why are we still answering to y'all? Y'all don't look like us. So why are we listening to y'all? You don't understand what we going through. You don't know what it feels like to be hungry. Why do I care what you saying to me right now? Why? And the problem and where our anger come is that they don't have no answer for the why. So of course I'm just gonna get even more upset. Cause you can't even tell me why. This is why you got a crazy motherfucker like Donald Trump that can come out of left field. And like we spoke outside, we spoke previously on this. Is just the circus show and him showing exactly what a political campaign is. Yeah, a political campaign is nothing more than propaganda, and all he is pure propaganda or whatever. It's brilliant in what he's doing. You understand? But he's showing exactly the flaws in what our democracy has become. He's showing every single flaw from top to bottom. He is exactly what every single politician is, just to the extreme.
You know, the one thing I will say that I like that Donald Trump is doing.
That's hell no.
Nah, I'll show you. Donald Trump, like, in America, when President Barack Obama came into the power, you know, quote unquote, in 2008, people said that racism is dead in America. Donald Trump runs, and he makes two statements. One, disrespectful to Mexicans,
and the other one disrespectful
to Muslims. 1.3 billion Muslims in the world. He disrespects the entire Muslim community, right? Donald Trump is leading. It is showing that America, not only is racism not dead, racism is alive, and racism has only, what I like is that it pulled the closet racist, it pulled the systematic racist out, and have them actively at Donald Trump's rallies saying, "Hey, look, like this is who I believe in."
There was, if you say racism doesn't exist, and if anybody ever believed that shit, then they obviously aren't from minority communities. They aren't from the ghetto. They aren't from the hood. They aren't from our communities.
Not at all.
And then if you say racism doesn't exist, then you're actually not a black person or a minority that lives in a white community, a predominantly white community, because this is where you'll actually see. In our community, you can see the racial profiling.
Yeah.
And the automatic criminalization of us. And the stop and frisk. All of these things was always going on. You understand? This is in our communities. Now, when you leave and you're a black person or a minority in a predominantly white community, now you're being... It's just a different form. Now, you're truthfully the minority now. So the way that they act and the way they act towards you, they say shit like, let me touch your hair.
Yeah.
You understand? Like these are racist statements. You understand? This is there's no avoiding, there's no going around with it. The fact that there's something called Native American. You got American and then you have Native American. You don't get no more race. How the fuck are you let me I don't think people understand that. People don't understand what it is, right? You have an American and then you have a Native American. And those just put two different pictures in your mind. Yeah. But I'm saying the same exact thing twice. Yeah. You understand? Like, so let's say that the American is technically a Native American, and this person over here is also a Native American. You understand what I'm saying?
I wouldn't even say that. We got Native Americans and European Americans. I don't understand if we have to be African Americans. Why can't be European Americans?
We in this is what I'm saying. Like, why did y'all take your prefix off of your name?
Facts.
You understand? Why did you take the prefix off of your name? And why is the actual American a Native American?
Yeah.
Nigga, you're saying the same thing twice. You're native to this land and you're an American too.
Yeah.
Which will make you an American. You understand? Like, but the simple fact that I say, because people don't actually listen to what is being said to you.
Yeah.
You don't pay attention to what somebody is saying. We just accept things for what they are because somebody on the TV told it to us, or somebody that we look up of, they got a microphone in their hand and they said this shit to us, so it's a fact. And this is as artists and entertainers and people that have these powers in this power of our word. We need to truthfully understand the power of our word. Hitler did what he did off of the power of a word. And these is when words are used and manipulated. And think about just the concept of how the fuck is racism dead if you got an American and a Native American. And it just painted two different pictures in your mind.
Yeah.
When I'm saying the same thing twice.
Straight facts. It's an interesting world we live in. You know, I have optimism. Even if it's skeptical optimism based on, you know, past fuck ups. It's optimism that we're going somewhere. That people's eyes are opening up. My people's eyes are opening up to some of the hypocrisy, a lot of the hypocrisy, and I'm hearing less and less people use this fake woke term. I'm hearing less and less people demonize people who are hoteps. I'm seeing less and less people not want to be deemed as African or even discuss the trace roots to Africa. You know, people are getting more, they're gaining more of their history, and I'm skeptically optimistic about the future.
Like I said, what the thing is that the question comes first. And with the question, when you start to get your answers you get anger.
Yeah.
And with our generation needs to know that anger is just another tool. So when you looked at certain like of these movements that were going on or whatever, they were very angry or whatever. I don't even want to shout out any religious groups or anything like that, but their whole thing is anger.
You talk about the Tea Party. Tea Party is a very angry.
It's an angry
movement.
group, but it brings in the need for conversation.
Yes.
Now, once we get the conversation sparked, we got to take it a step further. So the civil rights movement was to take it a step further. We already knew what the problem was. The problem has always been here. The problem is not going to change by us talking about it. The problem can only be changed by our actions.
Yeah.
So now we're in the stage of who is going to start this action up. Like, let's stop talking about it. Let's stop talking. We good. We good off this the same shit that we've been going through.
Yeah.
We don't need to talk about this no more, yo. Let's just start doing. We need to start doing.
Fair enough. I think I'll leave it there at this point. So 60 seconds, all yours, my man.
I don't know. I got shit to say. I said a lot of shit. Of course, it's Young Nate B. Make sure that you follow me at Young Nate YUNGNATE across all social media. We got Heartland Fest coming up April 8th through April 10th. Blacklist concert coming up in May. Be on the lookout for Lurk Cobain. Check the Method video out right now. Song up on SoundCloud. Shouts to Encore Radio. Deal with No Deal back up. You know we working out here, man. It's just a lot of shit, B. And New York is up right now, B. So we got to show and prove right about now.
Straight facts. All right, folks. Again, it's the Encore Radio Show. We are live each and every Monday. Matter of fact, folks, by the way, so podcast comes out Monday morning, 8 a.m. We repost our podcast again on our network, the Indie Creative Network, on Wednesdays. You check it out there. On Fridays, our show is streamed live on Play Next Up Radio in Atlanta. So, guys, make sure you guys check that out as well. You know, if you missed the show the first 2 times, you can catch it at the end of the week as well. Show love to them. Bless up to Play Next Up Radio. This is Wise Soul here with Young Nate. Make sure you guys follow me at The Real Wise with a Z. Follow Encore Radio Show, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Encore Radio Show. Folks, yo, this is going to be a fucking crazy year. I will not let y'all down. It's the Encore Radio Show. Good morning.
The Encore Radio Show podcast is an Indie Creative Network production, recorded at Real Life Studios, produced by Lance Huff, and executively produced by Chris Copastetik.